Ashman Digital News. Former President Donald Trump has once again directed his ire at tech giant Google, accusing the company of being crooked and illegal following allegations that the search engine altered headlines in paid advertisements for Vice President Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign. In a fiery social media post, Trump claimed that Google was involved in a scheme to manipulate headlines and descriptions to favor Harris in her bid for the White House. He warned that the company would pay a big price for what he described as unethical and illegal behavior. The controversy stems from a recent article shared by Trump, which alleges that the Harris-Walz campaign edited headlines and descriptions in Google's paid advertisements to create a more favorable narrative. The article, published on a conservative news site, suggested that these alterations were made without the original publisher's consent, raising concerns about the integrity of online advertising practices. Trump's comments have reignited the long-standing debate over the role of big tech companies in shaping political discourse. During his presidency, Trump frequently clashed with Silicon Valley, accusing companies like Google, Twitter, and Facebook of harboring a liberal bias and suppressing conservative voices. His latest remarks suggest that this battle is far from over as the 2024 election season heats up. Google has yet to respond directly to Trump's accusations, but the company has previously denied similar claims, asserting that its advertising policies are designed to ensure fairness and transparency. According to Google's guidelines, advertisers can create their own ad text, including headlines and descriptions. This confrontation between Donald Trump and Google highlights a broader issue that has persisted throughout the last decade: the tension between big tech and political figures, particularly those on the right. Trump's recent remarks are not just an isolated incident but rather part of a series of criticisms he has levied against tech giants for allegedly censoring conservative voices and manipulating information. Digital advertising is now a critical tool for political campaigns, allowing candidates to reach specific voter demographics with tailored messages. Platforms like Google, Facebook, and Twitter offer sophisticated targeting options that have transformed how campaigns operate. However, with this increased reliance on digital platforms comes heightened scrutiny and concerns over the transparency and fairness of these advertising practices. In recent years, there have been numerous instances where political campaigns have been accused of manipulating digital ads to mislead voters or present information in a biased way. The Harris-Walz campaign's alleged manipulation of headlines, as suggested by the article shared by Trump, adds fuel to these concerns, raising questions about the ethical boundaries of digital campaigning. Google, like other major tech platforms, has established guidelines meant to prevent the misuse of its advertising services. These guidelines prohibit misleading content and require that all ads adhere to strict standards. However, the allegations that the Harris campaign altered headlines raise questions about the enforcement of these policies. Critics argue that even if Google's guidelines are robust, the sheer volume of ads makes it challenging to monitor and enforce compliance effectively. The political community has reacted with predictable polarization. Republican leaders and Trump supporters have amplified his accusations, calling for investigations into Google's practices and for stricter regulations on how tech companies operate during election cycles. They argue that the influence of big tech on elections is a threat to democracy and must be checked. The 2024 election is shaping up to be one of the most digitally driven campaigns in U.S. history, with candidates investing heavily in online ads and social media strategies. The allegations surrounding Google and the Harris-Walz campaign may prompt campaigns on both sides to scrutinize their digital advertising practices more carefully, aware that any misstep could lead to significant backlash. For voters, this incident serves as a reminder to be vigilant about the information they encounter online, especially in the highly charged environment of a presidential election. It also underscores the importance of media literacy, as the lines between genuine news and manipulated content become increasingly blurred. As the election season progresses, it is likely that more such controversies will emerge, further complicating the already complex relationship between politics and technology. How these issues are addressed could have lasting implications for the future of both digital campaigning and the role of big tech in democratic processes. On the other side, Democrats and tech advocates have largely dismissed Trump's claims as part of his ongoing feud with Silicon Valley. They suggest that Trump's focus on this issue is an attempt to distract from other pressing challenges his campaign faces, including ongoing legal battles and controversies. The tech community, meanwhile, is watching closely to see how Google handles this situation. Should the company take any action in response to these accusations, it could set a precedent for how similar cases are dealt with in the future. As Trump's allegations gain traction, the possibility of legal or regulatory action against Google looms larger. Lawmakers who have long called for more oversight of big tech may see this as an opportunity to push for investigations into the company's practices. In recent years, both Republicans and Democrats have expressed concerns about the power and influence of companies like Google, although their motivations often differ. For Republicans, the focus has typically been on allegations of bias against conservative voices. Trump's latest accusations play into this narrative, potentially galvanizing efforts to hold Google accountable. On the other hand, Democrats, while also critical of big tech, have generally concentrated on issues like data privacy, antitrust concerns, and the spread of misinformation. However, if the allegations against the Harris-Walz campaign are proven true, they could create a bipartisan push for more stringent regulations on digital advertising. Google's reputation is on the line, not just in the political realm but among its users and partners as well. The company has long positioned itself as a neutral platform that merely facilitates the distribution of information. However, repeated accusations of bias and manipulation, whether true or not, can erode public trust. If Google is found to have knowingly allowed or facilitated the manipulation of headlines in the Harris-Walz campaign's ads, it could face significant backlash from both the public and its business partners. This could result in stricter internal policies and perhaps even a re-evaluation of how political ads are managed on the platform. In the worst-case scenario, Google could face fines or other penalties if regulatory bodies determine that the company violated election laws or its own advertising policies. Digital advertising has become an essential component of modern political campaigns and business strategies alike, reflecting broader shifts in how people consume media. As of 2024, the digital advertising industry is projected to continue its rapid growth, driven by advances in technology, increasing internet penetration, and the rise of social media platforms. As of the most recent data, the global digital advertising market is estimated to be worth around $600 billion, with expectations to surpass $800 billion by 2027. This represents a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of approximately 10% over the next few years. The growth is fueled by several factors, including increased spending on mobile advertising, the expansion of e-commerce, and the ongoing shift from traditional to digital media. In the United States alone, digital ad spending is expected to exceed $250 billion in 2024, accounting for more than 75% of total media ad spending. This shift highlights the dominance of digital platforms in reaching and engaging with consumers, a trend that is likely to continue as advertisers prioritize more targeted and measurable forms of advertising. One of the primary drivers of growth in digital advertising is the ability to deliver highly targeted ads based on user data. Platforms like Google and Facebook offer sophisticated tools that allow advertisers to reach specific demographics, interests, and behaviors, making digital advertising more efficient and effective than traditional media. With the proliferation of smartphones, mobile advertising has become a significant growth area within the digital advertising sector. Mobile ad spending is expected to grow at a CAGR of over 15% through 2027, as consumers increasingly access content on mobile devices. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, the intersection of technology and politics remains a crucial area of focus. With new developments and challenges emerging every day, staying informed is more important than ever. Thank you for tuning in to Ashman Digital News, where we bring you insightful analysis, breaking news, and in-depth coverage of the stories that matter most. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest in politics, technology, and beyond. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell to never miss an update.